Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Wednesday, September 28th, 2016. Hope you're having a good week. Great week, great day in futures, especially stocks was all right. Not as spectacular as what I was hoping for on Tuesday here. So now we head into Wednesday. Remember, this is end of quarter, end of month, and on Friday everything ends. So that's usually window dressing for the quarter, which is a big one, slows us down. Friday is probably not going to be very interesting. Thursday will probably start to slow down, and so hopefully Wednesday day and Thursday morning will give us some opportunities. We've got MBA mortgage index, durable orders, and the crude oil inventories number at various times in the morning on Wednesday. None of those are big. We do have some bigger or more economic data due Thursday and Friday than we have the rest of the week, but we will talk about that in tomorrow night's preview. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the S&P 500, and we've been down and then back up today, still holding exactly where we were on the 4th of July weekend. Essentially, we've been in a fairly narrow range despite the 13 sell signal. We did sell off from that, obviously. I'm just recapping things you should already know if you've been listening to us for a while right now. Here's crude oil down 97 cents to 44.95, also sitting about where it was over 4th of July weekend. So the summer's been basically a wash across the board. Remember, I'm just looking at the last quarter, essentially. So the summer months, July to here on gold, down 13.20 today, but essentially sitting where it was back then. So the S&P cash index gaining almost 14 points today on the session, but still well below that risk line and everything else. Here's the NDX 100, bounced back, almost gaining back exactly what it lost the day before, 49 points. SOX gained 14, almost a new closing high in the SOX. Biotech's up 34, still operating under the 13 sell signal here in the biotech index. The VIX down $1.40 to 13.10. Trend closing at 1.10, which is still pretty high. You'll notice the big drop off in the moving average there, back down to 1.19. That's because that big number over 3 from 2 weeks ago dropped out of the last 10. But still, with the numbers we've had, it's going to be pretty impossible to get down to one of those low readings that would be a sell signal anytime soon on the 10-day. NASDAQ volume only 1.6 billion, nothing impressive compared to what we were seeing. You'll notice that the 10-day moving average of volume, which had come back up in September, earlier in September, right? We got some good volume, but now rolling back over a bit. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 909. That's a decent breadth, and it started out negative. Advanced decline ratio on the New York plus 518. Google gains $8.08. Big announcement coming on October 4th as they release all their new products for the year or announce them. Might see the stock move up a bit ahead of that. Apple up 21 cents, which is a blip for Apple. Amazon, new closing highs, breaks the risk line of the 13 sell signal, up 16.95. Netflix up $2.51. And let me guess, there's a 12. So one more day up will give Netflix actually a 13 sell signal, which is a little strange, but nevertheless. Here's the ES, so you can see that on Monday we had gapped down and gone sideways with a slight but boring bias to the downside. Tuesday, small gap down, headed back up. That's post-debate, which I think looks like widely everybody thinks Hillary won that debate. Markets pushed up and then dead flat in the afternoon, sideways and closing, not filling the gap from Monday. So the gap is still above. Meanwhile, on the NASDAQ side, the gap from Monday did fill. That was kind of where we stopped out over lunch, or stalled out, sorry, over lunch. So again, small gap down, rallied, came close, made a cup and handle, broke out, filled the gap, and then most of the rest of the day. The afternoons have been boring again, unfortunately. Not making a ton of calls there. That's about it. So that's we got some minor data tomorrow, and hopefully just some action before the end of the quarter here, because like I said, Thursday, the big players usually have things about where they want them, and they start to back off. Friday, they take off and just let those statements print. And then we come into October. Now, remember, historically speaking, if I slide this chart back, September is one of the most negative months of the year, and usually the market bottoms out in the second week in October. It is not doing that this year, really, except for that one little dip we had. I mean, there's still time for a couple-week pullback, but any real collapse seems very unlikely at this point in time. It's very interesting. We're just not getting the volatility yet that we usually get around this time of year. It usually starts somewhere here in September. But it's October through April that are the best trading months, and we're still just about to enter that period as we enter the fourth quarter. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal 12. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Wednesday.